Tone Bjordam. She's an artist, and she will present her work and say a few words about herself and show some of the film. Welcome, Tone.
Thank you very much. I'll show just a short part of the video, and I'll talk a little bit, and then I'll show a short interview made just 1.5 weeks ago with Martin Scheffer and myself. Martin Scheffer is a scientist that I work together with. So you'll just see a part of the movie first. Thanks a lot. Yeah, so my name is Tone Bjordam, and I'm an artist. And this work I made together with Martin Scheffer. He's also a musician, so he composed and played all the music, and together with another musician, Arthur Bond, on percussion. I have written down what I'm going to say, because I have a tendency of talking, and then I'm somewhere else, and then I'm, you know, this kind of, that I go from one point, and then I'm somewhere else, and then I come back, and then, so I'll just try to this is very good when it is in a creative process. I learn to appreciate it a lot, but when it comes to keeping on the track, it's a bit different. This is a still image from the film, by the way. So, you just saw a part of Critical Transitions, an art project I made together with ecologist, biologist and musician Martin Scheffer last year. He saw an art video I made with the title Corals at Carnegie Art Award 2010 in Stockholm. Then he contacted me on email, and in February 2012 we met and started to work together. The video Critical Transitions is focusing on how we get fascinated by all the little details and drama instead of the bigger picture in the dramatic event of a critical transition, when a system is tipping over into another system and major change take place. You can see the rest of the video on a screen in the entrance area or on my website. There will be a film after my talk with a short discussion between Martin and me about art and science. As a person and as an artist, I believe that the most important information of our time is to inform people about the scientific proof of climate change, and above that, to find solutions on how to solve the issues we are facing. We have to involve everyone and look at each other's knowledge and creativity as a source of finding good solutions. Art and science has always inspired each other. Some time ago, it was also common, for example, for biologists to make very artistic drawings of their findings. I think that there is a huge source of inspiration for artists to find in science, to mix creativity with knowledge. We have had a very stable environment the last 10,000 years, and it had a huge impact for human civilization to establish. If we make a change now in a positive direction, we might have 4,000 years or more of very stable climate. That's pretty long. The extraordinary fact is that we still have a choice. People in general are so used to read about things in the news that are already thought through, that already have an answer. But the problems we are facing now, they have many answers. There are many possible futures. We need a platform where we can come together and find new solutions to get the messages out globally. We have made many systems for economy, for energy, and we can change those systems if we want to. Sometime in the future, there will be nature-caused tipping points and transformations and change, because it is how nature works in the long run. But we have now made an impact on nature, and that leads to the fact that we still have a chance to change things. And future generations will notice what we did, because we already see all these early warning signals appear through extreme weather, temperature, and more. Therefore, they will see what we did because we can prove it. Nature and art has something in common. There can be many answers to the same question, and they can all be right. The ability to communicate is art's strong side. A poem is something very different than a diagram, although they can be equally important and even tell something about the same topic. A poem can change how people receive something in an emotional way. A painting can speak a universal language and influence people regardless of national borders and culture, and music and theater and films. Think about your personal favorite art piece. We all carry those around with us in our mind. Whether it is a child's drawing, a Leonardo da Vinci, or a Gerhard Richter's painting, or an object by Donald Judd, art is influential all the time, everywhere, and through time. As an artist, it is important for me to reach out to many different people, in exhibitions, but also through public installation, and sometimes to show art in unexpected places, like in the forest or in an urban landscape. The art video you just saw some of, Critical Transitions, for example, has been selected to be shown this summer in July and August in Norway's most visited building, Oslo's Central Station, as a public installation. It has also been shown in different art exhibitions and at science conferences. Some of my artwork is constantly touring schools in Norway. This means that a lot of children and young people get to see modern video art, and I get my message out to a much wider audience. For me, it is important to inspire. You have beautiful art, political art, provoking art, very strange art, and many more, and they are all important. They all have in them the power to make people think differently. I try to make very beautiful, uplifting, colorful, and also dark and mysterious art that is related to and inspired by nature and science. Because I believe that commitment often starts with an uplifting or fascinating experience in nature or through art. To make people understand the facts and challenges that lay ahead. A good strategy might be to try to reach out not only through reason, but also through emotions. And to tell people that we can actually change things. To give them answers on how we all can contribute, and to let them come with more solutions. To let everyone contribute. Hope is an important factor. And we need a global understanding that we do this together, that we are all connected. I'll show you the interview now. It's quite short. And after that, it's a break. Art and science is often looked upon as something very different, that scientists look for the clear answer, and artists look for many answers on many questions, and it's so free and... But I do believe that they can benefit a lot from each other.
Yeah, and that they are quite similar.
Yeah, they are.
I think in the process of making this movie, we found out some of that.
Yeah.
I guess both arts and science have this process of exploration and very intuitive phase in which you're trying to see which thing you want to address. It's like an adventure, very associative, very, and you need that to find the interesting question or the potential solution or something. Yes. And then you both have this phase of working on it, right? With the techniques that you have, with the techniques as a scientist that I have to do the equations, the experiments. So you both have the two phases, but the emphasis is somehow different, right? Like in the arts, the emphasis is very much on this creative, intuitive process. And in science, sometimes people don't think it is there, but it is important. And maybe we should be more explicit about it. And I think that working with the arts is very enriching for science, exactly because the artists are the specialists almost in this explorative process. So working together, I think, is a natural idea.
Yeah, artists are very used to looking at things from many different directions and twisting and turning and finding many ways to look at the topic. And for me as an artist, it is very important to get a message out, or just a feeling, you know, to communicate with the people that actually sees it. And it's the same for science, of course, that you want to people to hear about the things that you find out.
That's
I
right.
want people to see the things I make and maybe get inspired by that.
Yeah, I think that's why, in the first place, we started to work together.
Yes.
Because the first thing I knew is that I saw this movie that you made, Corals, in a museum in Sweden, and it captivated me very much, because it is intriguing thing presented, told so beautifully. So the communication, as well as the topic of the change and movement, resonated very much with what I do. I'm interested in how things change, or how they change suddenly or chaotically, and then when you feel you get some essence of that, how do you communicate it to the people?
Yes.
So I saw just this choral movie of you, and I thought, oh,
Luckily,
something here
yes.
that is very much like what I want to.
Thank you.